Hey, 11th grade. I'm going to give you some ideas for this religion seminar. So this is the second video in the Interrupted series. Um, so I would probably look at this one particular this one particular part of the series as what does it really mean to follow Jesus? So I know that Jen has been she set up the idea of what she's been called to do in Austin, and the video itself, I would probably play it just in the very beginning to set up this idea that Jen had to give up something. She had to give up on things like the American dream. So I would probably show the video right away, but then I would come out of it and I would ask the question. A couple of questions that I would probably just get students into groups and let them think through the questions first and talk through them. So the first question I would ask them to do is, what do you think the American dream is? Because that's something that Jen starts and talks off, is that she feels like that she loved living the American dream. And she had to give up that American dream. Then I would ask this question, is for them to share or to share with each other and then share aloud, is what is the thing in your life that makes you most happy? And I think the question then would be, would you give it up if someone asked you to? And at what point would you be willing to give it up? So even if they said, no, I won't give it up. Well, what circumstances would cause you to give it up? What things might someone give you instead? What are the trade-offs and that sort of thing? So then what I would do is I would go to the Interrupted guide and actually read the passage from Luke 5 that it talks about, where Jesus is he's goes into a place with tax collectors and sinners. And he tells them to follow me. And the tax collectors are so upset about this. And he basically says, I've come for these people. I didn't come from you. And if you wanted to, you can kind of position and do a diagram of all the different people here, where you have Jesus as this leader on one side. And then you have on the other side the Pharisees, who were the religious leaders of the day. So they would be the people who would interpret the scriptures and basically say who is and who's in and who's out. They were like the most celebrated people in that culture. And the tax collectors and sinners were probably the underprivileged, the marginalized people. And I would define those three different things. I would define those characters. Then what I would push people to is what is Jesus inviting these people into to follow him? What does it really mean to follow Jesus? So I found a clip that I linked into the document. It's a Rob Bell clip. The link is there, and it actually starts right on time, which is 2 minutes and 23 seconds in, and I would go until 7 minutes and 15 seconds in. It basically gives a cultural context of what does this word "follow me" actually mean? What is Jesus actually telling them? And that phrase was a very important phrase to that religious leaders would call upon young men during this time period to essentially abandon everything that they had. And I think it paints this picture of what Jen felt like she was having to do. She was trying to in order to truly follow Jesus, she had to give up the things that she believed were most important in her life. But the one thing I like about this particular video is it paints the opportunity as much bigger than giving something up. That, in fact, the idea of come follow me, this invitation, was worth actually abandoning your father and mother and your family and actually going out on your own to follow the leader that asked you to do that. And so then I would probably end the discussion around well, what does it mean to follow Jesus, and what do I might have to give? What would I might have to give up? But how would I see that as a positive thing? And really dive into beyond the rules, what does life abundant look like? So John 10:10 is a great verse to look at. Is if that's what Jesus is offering in his invitation, which is I've come to give life abundant, then what does an abundant life look like? And could that be found in Christ? And maybe having students share out examples they might have seen people that live abundant, fruitful lives and that are religious. So that's kind of the direction I would go with it. So yeah, that's it.